Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sparrows, brought to you by Roll for Chaos. We have all of our lovely crewmates here. Sans one, unfortunately, Kai will not be with us today, but we will be back next game session next week. So I'm here tonight to tell you we're going to learn a little bit more about each one of these characters. We're going to go looking into their backgrounds a little bit, and then we're going to see what happens next after our thrilling conclusion last time, where our crew had just stolen the Sil tech that they went to get from this mining operation and somehow escaped and found their way off, jumping into the void, throwing themselves in harm's way, and crashing into the deck before the end of... I gotta check the audience. Am I silent again? Please let me know.
No, you're coming in nice and loud. I was able to hear you the first time.
I a couple of times recently, I have started and ended up having no audio and been very embarrassed that I had spoken for so long before going back and fixing it. So, we are going to find out what happened after they landed on the deck of the ship, carrying the Sil tech, Sylvia, and, of course, Red Iron getting a whole bunch of voices in his head recently. And we're just going to go from there. There's 4 of you. I'm going to start off at random. We're going to roll a d4. We're going to see who goes, starting with a 1 with Benjamin directly above me and going clockwise. Looks like we got a 1. Benjamin, you're up first. So, would you like me to start the scene, or do you want to start it for your background?
Let's let you start it. I think my description was thorough enough. I hope it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we happen to see ourselves in a large large operational scrapyard. There's a huge amount of old, broken down machinery, bits and parts of things that could possibly function if given a little bit of effort. And we happen to see a very young Red Iron, before he'd taken this name, walking around inside of this scrapyard. Now, the skies of Avalon are bright and blue. There is a nice bit of weather happening, and Red's got a bit of a skip to their step. So, Red, can you describe why you're happy at the moment?
It's Boss's Day.
Boss's Day. A day where you celebrate the efficiency and the appropriateness of your boss, and you happen to provide them with some sort of semblance that shows you care in one way or another. Now, Red turns and walks inside of this makeshift hut, basically. He's got his own little tiny workspace, a workshop there. Now, the staff are not usually allowed to create things like this in the scrapyard. Of course, this is a multi-mile wide scrapyard, so there's plenty of space for little things to kind of go unnoticed. What is this not exactly permitted workshop, I think in your words, look like?
The not exactly permitted workshop is basically like a capsule, like maybe an escape pod husk that Red, not Red yet, but that future Red Iron has sort of added like little work tables, and there's all sorts of like gears and stuff hanging around. It's kind of a mess. It's like sort of aesthetic as well. Like there's a little bit of Red is trying to build stuff and half-built machines, but also Red is like trying to assemble little pieces of like art, or finds especially pretty gears and has been like hanging them like Christmas decorations. In addition, little Red Iron doesn't have any of the cybernetic or the automatic implants, so Graspy, the third arm, is just sort of strapped to their back like a harness.
So we see Red kind of arm outstretched, grabbing a hold of like the overalls or something of the foreman, the individual that's in charge of the area, who's just kind of tugging along. What do you got me doing out here? Scrap pile off in the middle of nowhere. What is this all about? Ishlud, what are we? Yeah.
Boss, I want to show you something.
Show me something. Time is money, and we have very little of it. There's a deadline we have to actually create enough of the appropriate scrap in order to get some of the Empire's ships up and flying this week. So whatever this is, make it fast.
It's Boss's Day. I can show you. Come inside quickly.
Day, fine. And he follows you inside of this little workshop and looks around for a second before turning back to you. Ishlud, you don't have a permit.
It's I found it like this. It was exactly like this when I found it.
You found it like this?
But quickly, here, I will show you. I will show you this.
And Ishlud reaches underneath the table and pulls out what appears to be a little box, maybe like 6x6. And they flip it open, and then Graspy reaches down and starts turning a crank. And it starts making like this sort of jumbled, mostly atonal, semi-musical cacophony.
Clink, 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 clink,
Yeah.
clink.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It is beautiful. It sings to you.
Yeah, I hear it. It's so lovely. We'll just put this over here. He like takes it from you and puts it down on the table nearby.
Not that one. That one is mine. I made one for you.
And Ishlud reaches under and grabs another one and sets it on the table.
This one is special. This one is special. Open it. Try it. Try it.
I could, you know what? I should do this on my own time. You've been more than gracious this whole boss's day thing. I don't need to take up more of your time or anything like that.
Come on, boss. I want to see your reaction.
All right. Boss moves over to the table, grabs a hold of it, and opens it up. Okay.
Graspy like rapidly just like over and starts turning the crank for the boss.
So you turn it. You turn it like this.
Okay, and music starts.
And
Okay.
it's like
Ting 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 ting. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It's a song that I wrote for you. It says it's thank you, boss.
Thank you, but it sounds like okay. Well, thank you very much for what you provided, Ishlud, and good job. Keep doing that, but try not to take up too much more company time. All right?
Yes, I was wondering. Are we doing the engine today?
The engine. Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, it would be good for us to get that. We have again very short schedule, so you have to be extra careful with this one. All right?
Yes. I am always careful.
Of course you are. He just like pats you on the head for a second while reaching up just a little bit.
Red kind of like vocally like trills a little bit happily.
The boss just kind of turns around. You can see like on his face as he turns, just the look of, oh, and he just walks out the door as the scene begins to fade. What are your final words as the boss leaves, Ishlud?
Ishlud looks over at Graspy. Graspy looks over at Ishlud like,
Yes, I'm excited too. We're going to go into the engine. I hear that I'm the only one that can do it. That I can do it. I am the only one that can do it because it's going to be very dangerous.
And then the scene fades out on that note. Next up, we move over to B. B, you happen to be pouting a little bit. You see, you'd been navigating recently, and unfortunately had left the Archimedes with some lasting asteroid damage after navigating the ship. What are you saying as you walk away? We hear the captain's voice for a second, and you need to stay in there and think about what you did. And the door slams.
Well, he told me to get there the fastest route possible, just because there was a little asteroid belt. I mean, it's not that much damage, and Collins will look good with a scar. It's fine. She kind of throws herself down on her bunk and pouts a little bit more. And as she's sitting there, she hears kind of a just the whir of electronics and little mechanical footsteps coming across the floor towards her. And she looks down and sees a toaster.
Just waddling back and forth. Clink, 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 clink.
Who are you? I've never seen you before. Would you like to be my friend?
The thing just kind of continues moving forward, but you take that as an affirmative.
I'll take that as a yes. And B will lean over and reach down and pick it up and put the toaster on the bunk next to her and sit down cross-legged and just look at it intensely.
You stare at it for a while, starting to see your own face reflected in that shiny chrome surface on the front.
You look like you could be a very good friend.
You see the toaster's little arm just kind of kick up.
Then you want to be my friend. That's great. So you need two things in order to be my friend. The first thing you need is a face. Hold on, stay right there. I'll be right back. And B
Toaster sits on the counter.
B leans over. For the parents out there, and those of us who remember being a kid still, you know how you're told not to get off your bed? So you get down and your foot is on the bed and you're reaching for things across the... That's what she's doing in order to get her cache of paints. And she picks out what is probably a regular paintbrush, regular sized, but for B, this is a detailed brush, because generally her paintings are just large swaths of bright colors. And she takes this brush and looks down at all of her paints and realizes the paint that she has the most is black. So she dips it in and she very, very seriously starts drawing the face. Perfect. You're very cute. Do you mind if I boop you?
Ding, ding.
Boop. And B pays no attention to the fact that she has just smeared the nose a little bit and has paint on her finger, because that is all that she ever wanted. She has a new friend, and it's great. So now we need to worry about the second thing that you need to be my friend, and that's giving you a name. Names are hard. Let's think about it for a minute.
As you sit there, the toaster kind of twists slightly on those little legs that still seem to start trying to move, and it starts falling towards the floor.
B will dive and catch it and not even think about the fact that she had to get off the bed to do it.
You dive, you grab a hold of it. As the edge of the toaster hits the floor, you hear...
That's a perfect name. I'm going to call you Barnabas. Barnabas, you're the best toaster ever.
You see the one of the arms that has been like jammed down, the other one pops up, and the little bit of like paint that's on the side smears slightly upward to give it a crooked smile.
Aw, I'm so glad that you're happy too. Captain Cutlass can be very mean sometimes, but I'm sure he'll be happy to have you as part of the crew, almost as happy as I am.
And we see Bee smiling into the face of Barnabas, reflected her own image there with like kind of like clown style makeup almost because of the painting on the face. And the scene begins to fade. The next thing we hear is screaming. We hear shouting. We hear a cacophony of voices, not unlike what you might find inside of an auditorium, completely filled with children, as we see the scene open up on absolute madness. Tens of children running back and forth through a room all over the place, and one very large Lezrin standing amid the middle of them, trying to direct traffic.
Stop pulling your hair, get your backpack. You over there, stop playing with your food. We won't have too much of it. Why are you not dressed yet?
I am dressed. I have a sock on.
Cute, but you're gonna need to be in uniform for this one. They pick up the child, take him over to the closest parent at this time. Amos is surrounded on all sides by about 32 kids. So that puts them at about 10 per person. Thankfully, this one isn't the one he's looking after. However, let me get my notes.
So a child named Sprocket in the distance is amidst this big crowd, and Amos looks over just a moment just to see one of the other kids sock him right in the chin.
They are instantly in full lizard pursuit mode. They get over there and
I see a
they pick up
T-Rex
Sprocket.
stomping suddenly across the room with children running everywhere.
Just children bouncing to the footsteps. Who or what happened here?
Isaac hit me.
Did you? They look at Isaac.
Yeah, I hit him. They stole my sandwich.
Did you?
Yes, but it looked delicious.
Don't you have one?
Mine's ugly, though. I don't like peanut butter.
Why didn't you tell me in the first place?
Because I liked peanut butter yesterday and I don't like peanut butter today.
If you change your mind, get up early, but for now, you're going to have to give the sandwich back, or else.
But I wanted the sandwich, though.
You do have a sandwich. So does he. Give back his sandwich.
Yeah, give me back my sandwich. All right,
No.
fine. Here's a stupid sandwich back.
Okay, let's talk this out. What's wrong with peanut butter? I thought you liked
butter
that.
sticks to my mouth. I don't have enough drinks at school to get rid of all the peanut butter when it's sticking to my mouth.
I see. I'll tell you what, if you help me with the dishes, I may have some time to make you a new sandwich. How does that sound? Deal?
Can it be ham and cheese?
Ham and extra cheese. Just this once.
All right, I'll help you.
Okay, does everyone here have their backpacks? Sprock.
You see lots of kids like, I got mine. Someone was like, I don't know where my backpack is. You hear somebody else be like,
What's a backpack?
All right, we're down one backpack. Lunches, who's got lunches?
I got a sandwich. I got bread. I got turkey. I got myself all kinds of stuff. Look, I got a bag full of all. Look at this fruit in here, and I got jerky. Oh no, my yogurt! Get the yogurt! It's running away.
Good Lord, the yogurt! Someone stop the yogurt!
you see kids running across the room.
And they send the kid that was originally in the fight over the sandwich because they didn't want peanut butter and jelly after it. Go, get the yogurt. I'll take care of the sandwich.
Got it. I'll go get it. Don't worry. I got it.
Oh!
And we see Amos working with all of these children, trying to get them ready for school and going where they need to go, the things they need to have done, running to and fro, amok, quite stressed out as the scene begins to fade. So we find ourselves now out in the void. There's a large station out there, Outpost Cerulean. It's a trading hub, giant circular station with a whole bunch of shops and things all inside this location in the center, where this huge pavilion is. And there's a massive zoo in the middle of Outpost Cerulean. And at this point in time, we see Clarion kind of walking about. She's with her current owners at the time and is getting ready to be sold off to the next highest bidder and sent out somewhere else. But as she walks through the pavilion, we see a bunch of prospective individuals who are coming up. I could use a medical assistant. I could use a butler bot. She looks like she's in very good condition. Well, how's she gonna go? There's a lot of people that are kind of milling about and talking about this individual like you aren't an individual. And then a kobold comes over to you. One that's wearing a patched up and kind of battered university uniform with the name Steve written on the side on a tag. And as it walks over in your direction, the kobold looks at you.
Excuse me. Are you new to this station? Do you know anything about it? Do you happen to have any idea where I could find myself some alchemical supplies?
Hello, I am just passing through today. Sorry, I haven't seen any alchemical supply shops.
Passing through today? Well, that's still really... I'm just asking a simple question. All you have to do is respond appropriately.
Did I not respond appropriately? I apologize.
Well, apology accepted. Now, where am I supposed to go here?
Perhaps if you find a directory, there will be an indication of where you should go.
But I can't read. How am I supposed to find out? Can you read for me? I can bring you over here, and we can just... I mean, you know where the directory is, right? I'm assuming it's that big platform over that plaque over there. It's got all the information on it, right?
Yes, that is the directory.
Yes. Come help me read it.
Of course.
Excellent. Here we go. Walk. And we see the two of them kind of like moving over towards the directory, but your owner turns back. Clarion Bell, where do you think you're going?
I am helping this creature read the directory.
We're not here for that today. You can deal with it himself. Let him down. Get back over here. We gotta find your owner.
Of course.
So, do you turn at that point, or do you say something to this little kobold?
I wish you the best of luck. Here. Here's a primer. And she pulls a little dictionary out of her backpack, or her bags, or whatever she's carrying. And she says, should you ever meet another automaton like me, please try to treat it like a person, since I am one.
Automaton, you're a person. Of course, but now you're handing me a book. Wow. As you're walking away from this kobold, there's not even any pictures in this. How am I supposed to? I don't know how to read. And we see Clarion move away as the scene begins to fade. Stainclaw doesn't like Clarion. So we now move into our actual scene for tonight from previous adventure. We see Leifei, we see Red Iron, we see Amos B, and the captain, and Clarion, and a mind-controlled pirate, all leaping through the void, like, I don't know, some sort of Guardians of the Galaxy style music playing in the background very slowly as they're just... And in between them, there's like the spinning disc that is Sylvia, just kind of floating in the void with them as they're all launched in this direction. Everybody landed upon the deck. I think everybody already had rolls for it too. So you kind of crash down, you roll to your feet, and now you are aboard the Archimedes. And I'm going to switch a few things around here real quick. First things first, we're back in the void. So here's a map for everyone. And, of course, we need to make sure you have the ship handy, so I'll give you that as well. Aboard the ship, everybody's just kind of clustered on the front end. The miner, who I'm not entirely certain you all got the name of in the last episode, just kind of crashes to the deck and turns around looking at everybody. All right, well, here we are. And the captain just starts shouting out orders to everybody. Everyone to your posts! Leifei, get over there and relieve Bicky. Bicky, get back down to... Just stand somewhere nearby that we can... we'll need some help, I'm sure, here shortly. And then as he's in mid-sentence, Bicky says, I think everybody should just maybe get down. And you hear cannon fire coming in from the distance. Everybody roll agile as you try to avoid the shots that are coming in towards your ship from the noble armada. There's a noble ship and a security ship that both are moving around the corner and firing at you. All right, there we go. We got a 14, a 14, a 4, and a 2. Leifei doesn't do well either, unfortunately. The captain has a spinning die, so we'll wait and see how that resolves here in a second. With the blast, you're going to take some scattered damage that just flies across the ship based on position. So, from where I have you all situated, Amos is the biggest and the most close. You're going to take the most of this damage, with Beatrix taking a small amount, and everybody else is able to kind of get down, get out of the way. So how this is going to work is I'm going to do a d6 to Amos and a d4 over to Beatrix. we'll see where you get hit. Amos, you only take 2 points of damage to your right leg. And B, you take 1 point of damage. Nice low rolls to start to your right arm. So you'll take off 1 point from your armor if you have it there. If you don't have armor, it comes out your health. So the ship takes a hit. There's fragmented wood kind of splinters across the deck. Some of it crashes into you. Red Iron, you're low to the ground. You're holding on to Sylvia. Amos is too big to really crouch quickly and gets hurt a little bit. McClarion, you're able to get down. Everybody else, the shot just kind of goes in this direction. We now are in a scene where the ship needs some support. So I'm going to have all of you roll initiative once more to see how you're going to react. And you have to either attempt to stop the forces from attacking you or find a way to escape safely. Clarion gets a 14. Red Iron gets a -2.
Yeah, baby, that's all me.
You are so out of it. Amos gets an 8. Beatrix gets a 4. And I'm going to roll for Lefe. Guess I might as well keep his character sheet up here. So we got to make sure he's doing his thing too. Lefe gets a 12. Man, he's got a huge initiative bonus. All right, so how this is going to work is each one of your ships has its own initiative. I've already rolled that up. They will go on their turns. On the ship turn, the crew will go, and you all will go based on what your initiative roll was during the ship's turn. You will all be doing what you can to assist the ship in one way or another, and you'll have to tell me what actions you're taking. Using abilities and things like that is still allowed, but there are also ship responsibilities and positions on there that you might have to take. So at this point in time, we see the ship swing to the side. We see a couple of cannonballs just kind of pepper it and hit it in a couple of spots, some of the wood shattering off. Red Iron, you hear from the ship. Let's see if I have anything that'll work for this. Ow! As you hear the sound of wood splintering and metal fragmenting. And we are going to go to first an initiative, which is actually the Archimedes and crew. So at this point, everybody else there kind of goes first. Scarborough runs over to the side and kind of yells out to everybody, "All right, yeah, get on the cannons. Let's do this thing. It's time to fight back. Been waiting. I got them all loaded. Yeah, just help me, please." And moves into a position where he's going to start firing. Clarion, you are up next.
Okay. I mean, if Scarborough's asking for help, have I been trained to help?
Well, yes, to a degree. The cannons are relatively easy. It's just kind of a point and pull mechanism to fire them off, and reloading them might just require some brains rolls. But you could do that if you want to be a gunner. You could also move into a position of support through one of the other positions. You could still stay in your medical stuff and grab that and use it to patch up people as you need to, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, I think then she's going to prepare the medical attention if people need it. And who's been hurt the most from our escape?
How's everybody looking on health at the moment? Leife's got a small amount of damage.
Not bad.
Red's only down like 3 CHP.
Yeah, so 3 at this point would be like he's at 75% health. It's only a little bit injured.
Okay, then she's going to prepare like her supplies and bandages and just be ready in case anyone gets seriously injured.
All right, so Clarion rushes across the deck, going into the medical facility chambers and grabbing some supplies, med kits, and things like that, and gets ready as necessary. The next one to go at this point is Carrot. Your Carrot is crying downstairs after being yelled at by Amos, so that's gonna stay like that. Then Collins rushes over next to Scarborough and is just like, I'll load the cannons if necessary. I can do that. I'm not a very good shot, but I can try. You see his left hand begin to immediately start going as he is filled with anxiety. Vicky has already gone, but she shouts out to everybody else, "Somebody get over here and get on this wheel. I'm not that great of a pilot." And it is Leifei's turn. That's normally Leifei's position on the wheel, so he turns, runs, and I'm going to have him try to jump up onto the top deck and head towards the steering wheel. Rolls an agile roll. Doesn't do great. You see him kind of go up the side of it a little bit, struggle tiny bit, and then climb over the lip of it, and then start making his way over, but he won't be there this turn. At the moment. At this point, it is Amos's turn. Amos, your back hurts a little.
They just go directly for the gun. They are shouting orders. Clarion, get to the medical bay, set up. Cutlass, what's our heading? Beatrix, get down. Red Iron, where is that ball bearing? That sort of stuff.
So you're going to try to yell out orders to be supportive and keep crew in the right shape. You are also going to be manning the cannon right in front of you. So give me a charming or a tough roll of your choice to try to bolster the crew as you shout out what should be done. Nice, that's a 20. So with Amos's support, everybody gains a +1 to a roll of their choice during the scene. So save that and use it when you're ready. Next one up at this point is Beatrix. What are you going to be doing at this point in time? Part of what Amos had stated to you was someone find us a trajectory, a heading. That is one of your normal jobs, but you have other things you can do as well.
Exactly. Now, she will head towards navigation, but she will also shout out to the miner that he probably needs to get below decks because it's not safe.
Miner just kind of nods at you wide-eyed and turns and starts running.
Points.
So the miner goes and runs towards the below deck entryway, which is around the backside of the large standing platform here where the medical bay is. So that leaves us with Red Iron. What are you doing? Sylvia's right next to you, buzzing.
Red Iron is going to grab Sylvia and run below deck to the engine room.
Okay. So you grab a hold of Sylvia and you begin sprinting. Sylvia whispers to you,
Keep me safe. Keep me safe. This is dangerous. There's shots everywhere. I can't handle this. I don't have a body anymore.
We're going to need your help. Can you help us?
Just connect me to your engine.
That was the plan.
and Red Iron grabs a hold of Sylvia, running below deck. You can get to, let's see, so your ladder, or your hatch access is here. You can make it to the hatch access carrying Sylvia, but you can't get all the way down. All right, so at the end of the ship turn, let's see, that is everybody aboard at the moment. That means that the captain starts moving towards the helm where he can watch things and navigate a little bit better. And then the ship turn finishes. The resolution of the ship turn is that Scarborough and Amos are going to be firing cannons on this round while Bicky is still controlling navigation, so she will be attempting to avoid any further shots from this next or before the next turn and turning the ship to run away. That's what she's intending on doing at the moment. So the ship turns and makes its progress is its 5 spaces, heading over in that direction on the space map. Turns and fires. So Amos, give me an aware roll. You were firing at relatively long range, but not that bad. Are you aiming or trying to aim for the noble ship or the security ship? Amos, you get a +1 from Agile Mech.
Amos is going to be aiming probably at the biggest threat that started shooting at them already.
All right.
So considering how the security ship is firing, they are probably going to either A, go for the engines, or B, try to disable the cannon somehow.
Okay, so you're trying to do a called shot, basically attempting to knock out the cannons or hit the engine on this ship. You know that it's in the center back of the ship. Not quite as far back on the actual end as the one on your ship is, and less exposed. There's a lot more protection there. If you fire towards the engine, your roll target's going to be higher, but you can still hit the ship. If you fire towards the guns, the gun battery, you could miss and completely miss the ship. So, which one would you prefer to do?
Considering how the rolls have been tonight, I think I'm going to go straight for the gun.
All right, so you're firing at the guns. Now, go ahead and give us an attack. The opponent will attempt to avoid your attack. If you get too low, you will miss entirely. Enemy ship Evasive maneuvers are had. Go ahead and roll your aware roll to attack. Whew, that is an 8. Even with your ship's +2 to accuracy, you do miss, however. So, Amos turns, fires, cannon goes off. Ace given by Agile Mech to Amos. You can try once more. There's another ace given by Doyle.
I love you guys. I love you guys so much.
While you are re-rolling that, I'm also going to roll for Scarborough as he attempts to fire at the security ship as well. 12, 13, 14, you are still 1 below, but you do have a +1 that you've granted the crew.
Didn't I also get a +1? Do I also get a +1 for ordering?
You did, actually. So you can use that, and that'll get you just high enough to hit, causing some damage to their gun battery. All right, so for damage, you'll be rolling 3d6 for the cannon shot.
Impressive.
Scarborough gets a nice broadside across the security ship, causing 12 points of damage, causing a massive in the distance. You can see a little explosion. So Amos, give us your 3d6. So you got 12 also. Look at that. All right, with 12 points of damage as well, you knock out one of their cannons. Part of their defenses or part of their offenses are reduced on that side of the ship. So we see the Sparrow ship turn. We see gunfire, boom, boom, going off in the distance. We see a couple of solid hits, and the ship proceeds to try to escape. At this point, it is the noble ship's turn. They proceed to turn and move away. You can hear a voice crackling over the radio nearby. Let's see if I can do that okay without it sounding awful.
Pirate ship, you aboard that tiny vessel, you should turn yourselves in. We know that you happen to have the SIL technology. If you do not rescind that to us, we will be alerting the authorities in greater capacity, and you will be arrested or possibly killed. So yet again, please, stop this, and just end this whole debacle, return what is ours, and maybe we'll just give you a slap on the wrist, or a fine of some kind.
The captain nearby is like, turn that damn thing off! The noble ship starts turning into a position where they can fire on you as well, but they're waiting. Security ship is having none of that, and as it is flown off to the side, it proceeds to open fire on the ship. Boom, boom, boom. A bunch of shots come off, and Bicky tries to avoid spinning the wheel. I don't know what I'm doing! I've been doing this for too long! I'm a cook, damn it! And unfortunately, the ship is going to be hit at this point again. Boom, boom. Some shots ring out across it. I need to roll to see how it is hit. There is a location-based thing here for airships as well. And we got complication. So in the case of complication, I need to determine where the shots came from the side. All right. I'm gonna leave this up to fate. Red Iron, give me a high or low. If you get the wrong direction, something is going to happen in your vicinity. Otherwise, it's going to happen in a different part of the ship.
Low.
Low, he says. Here goes our D20. Low, it is. All right. Blasts go off, destroying part of the front loading bay area of your ship. And you see a huge chunk of it just... And I have to roll for the damage that is done by the security ship. To yours, it is missing one cannon. So, yes, a huge chunk of the ship takes 22 points of damage. And the front end just blasts off. Yet again, you hear the ship screaming out in pain, Red Iron.
Oh, jeez!
And there is now an open section of the void. We see poor little Carrot laying in bed crying as the wall is blasted open, and then Carrot's just like sucked out into space for the moment. We can deal with that as soon as the turn restarts here. The security ship continues moving in, trying to place itself in a position where it can get a better shot now that one side is damaged. And we move back to the Archimedes. Yet again on the deck. Vicky's going to wait. Cullens reloads the cannon in front of Scarborough. Scarborough tries to line up and get ready for another shot. The captain finally makes it up to the top of the deck, where he can shout out orders. You hear his voice over the radio as he's speaking down to Red Iron.
We need you to patch up that ship as best you can. We've got some problems here, and I think something, my voice is all screwy. What's going on with the comms?
Red Iron does not respond. It just sort of like melts into the din of all the other noises that are happening.
There are so many sounds happening right now. Squeaks and squeals and terrifying wails and the sound of shattering metal. And part of you is drawn back into the past where you've seen this happen on other ships you've been on. The horrifying pain of poor old man Archimedes. Oh no. So the captain is going to, as this turn resolves, try to direct repairs on the ship. So if you do anything related to that, you'll get a bonus based on the captain's assistance. We now move to Clarion. You're up.
Okay. Then I think she's going to immediately see that we have someone overboard and send Sheldon to go try and retrieve him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, well, from your position, roll aware to see what you can see first.
Fair.
That is an 8.
Not a lot.
With an 8, you're barely able to tell from the medical facility what's going on. You just feel the walls and the floor shaking as the ship is hit. You assume there's probably somebody that's damaged out there, but you're not entirely certain what. Are you going to use Sheldon just to scout for you?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so Sheldon just pops up off your shoulder. I'll go ahead and grab Sheldon's token real quick so we can have you move that around. Where are you at, Sheldon? You are right there. All right, so just, if you would, just go ahead and move Sheldon to where you think you want them to search, or you want them to search first. That'll be on the... You can either go down into the ship, or you can go outside on the deck somewhere where everybody else is at, or fly out into the void a little ways, obviously.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have him go out one of the portholes and go off to the side into the void a little bit, just to get a side-on view.
Okay, northern or southern porthole?
Southern.
All right, so it flies out and is over top of your radiating Aether engine and just starts looking around. From that side, that's not where most of the hits have happened so far. You can see that there's a couple of little dents, bruises, and lodged cannonball in this side of the ship from before you ever came out here. But let's have Sheldon give us another roll and see if Sheldon can see Carrot floating into the void. Nice, 18. So Sheldon does report back to you that Carrot is out there at the moment.
Okay.
We have a problem. It appears that Carrot is now airborne.
Oh no, go get him, Sheldon.
I will definitely do that.
And you see like Sheldon start flying over towards Carrot.
Best road.
But that will take an action or a round to do that. Leife finally makes it over. Bicky, I'll take over here. And just, Bicky is like, thank you! Runs down the stairs, ends up inside of the medical room, moving past you. As Bicky goes and moves past you, Clarion, you can tell that she has a rather large cut on her left arm.
I would try to give her a stern look and say, no, let me bandage that quickly.
But the food is gonna burn.
Let the food burn. If you die, you cannot cook anything. I restrain her if I can.
Right. So you are going to attempt to fix Bicky's problems there. It is Amos. What are you going to do on your round? Your cannon is currently unloaded. You'll have to figure something else out, or reload it, or do something else on the ship.
Do they see the floating Carrot?
Give me an aware roll and we'll see. There is a lot of debris. There's a lot of smoke and things like that that are floating in the void around it in front of you. Nice. Yes, with an 18, you can see Carrot. The whole side blew out, and you saw a big outsuck of air and a bunch of furniture, and you see Carrot like flipping end over end into the void in front of you.
I have a
Outsuck is
really
a technical
horrible
term.
idea. Would anyone like to hear that? I
Of
say out of
course.
character.
Absolutely. I love horrible ideas.
Everyone is familiar with what chain shot is, correct?
Absolutely. You tear sails. Yep.
For those of you in the audience who don't know what I'm talking about, it's two cannonballs tethered together by a set of chain.
Usually a smaller cannonball than the actual normal sized ones.
Amos is probably going to look around for one to use as a grappling hook.
There are bins of cannonballs, chain, and pepper shot inside of the barrel right next to you, so you can grab a hold of one of these big handfuls of it.
Collins, rope.
Yeah, I'll get. Just 1 second. Collins runs over, grabs a hold of some rope after helping Scarborough reload, and brings it over to you.
Collins, dump the cannon. We're firing chain shot.
Oh, okay, sir. Moves over, and let's see how quickly he's able to accomplish this. You see Collins expertly just pop this thing up, dump out the back end, prepare it, load in another wad, and get ready for a fire.
You know, I'm trying to think of something that's relatively... Amos would comment on how expertly Cullen moves the cannon around, despite the fact that he's clearly a little freaked out by all of this, mixing a little joke here and there. All right, aim for Carrot. Make sure that rope is tied on tight.
Aim for Carrot? But what happens if it tears him up?
It won't.
It won't. All right, Amos, I trust you. You see him like leveling out the cannon, getting it ready. You're gonna have to make a pretty good shot here, Amos. All right.
I've got an ace.
So Amos is gonna attempt to shoot Carrot with a bit of chain shot to wrap him up and then grab Carrot and drag them back to the ship. Got it. Beatrix, you are up. You have made it to your position up on the front. You of course can see the airy figure of your friend Zep standing nearby and watching you, and the console in front of you lights up immediately. You see a bunch of little floating orbs and things like that surrounding you, giving you this spatial idea of where everything is, and you could navigate in a way that helps you do a variety of things. Escape, or give you advances towards protecting the ship from being shot for defensive maneuvers, that kind of thing, or another idea if you have one.
I think she's going to focus on making sure the ship can't get shot again. That was not pleasant.
Okay, give me a magical roll as you attempt to determine what the most effective way to avoid getting hit is going to be. Nat 20, B. Holy shike. So, two options. One, do you want to have something that benefits you greatly or everybody around? Benefit for yourself would be that when using this navigator's console, you will always be at a +1 for the rest of the show. Or you will have the ability to recognize eddies and currents within the aether tethers, basically, that are out here in the void already, that will give your ship temporary boosts here and there, making it harder to be shot.
I think that I'm going to go with option number 2 this time.
Okay, so for now, you start telling, or sending information back to Leifei on how to best to move, what positions, like 32, 16, 18, 24, turn this way, 15 degrees, blah, blah, blah. You start recounting that information up to Leifei, and he's going to use it when it comes to avoiding shots in the future. That will grant a +3 to his defense rolls for the ship. Excellent job, B. Red Iron, we're back to you. You're currently on the back of the ship. You rush down, you go through the stairwell into the engine room carrying Sylvia. Can you give me a strong roll? Because you're going downstairs while carrying this thing that Amos and you both had to carry together. Nice, 19. So in that moment of just pure, this has to be done, can be no mistakes, life or death situation, all my friends are in pain, you're able to grab a hold of Sylvia and go down the stairs, one hand over your shoulder in that that mom adrenaline situation where you're able to lift a car. You're just able to pull this entire engine by yourself down the stairs. What do you do once you reach the engine room?
So before going into the engine room, Red Iron releases their third arm to go seal up the bottom front of the ship that's probably still like unsafe, so that if they start moving super fast, the entire ship doesn't just fall apart completely.
Okay, so let's see, where are we at? There we go, Graspy. Graspy pops off. There we are, and proceeds to move away from you, just running down the hallway, and start heading towards the damaged section where Carrot had actually been before. So Graspy will work on doing minor repairs there, and because of the captain's assistance, you'll actually have a +2 to Graspy's other roll when it is time. But
Okay.
first, so you let Graspy off, and you put Sylvia down, and what do you do at that point?
You said connect you, yes?
Yes. Connect me.
All right, grandfather. We're going to save you.
And then Red assembles some kind of like a wiring thing and then plugs Sylvia into the engine.
All right, so we're going to see how well you're able to assimilate into the engine, Sylvia. As Red works on it on the turn at the end of the ship turn, which that is what it is now. So now all of these things need to resolve. First thing that happens, Scarborough is going to be making that shot. So there's a gunshot that goes, or cannon fire that goes off out towards the security ship in the distance. Security ship takes evasive maneuvers, is able to unfortunately get away. Scarborough misses here. Shit! And it moves down from there to Cullens and Amos. You aim this cannon, you have this thing that's designed to tear apart masts and sails, and you're firing at your friend. Give me, how do you want to approach this? What stat would you like to attempt to use to approach this? And explain your reasoning.
Right off of the remark about Collins trusting Amos, Amos adjusts the cannon, and they say, "That's funny. You trust me more than I do."
What?
And takes the shot.
All right. So, what stat would you like to use to make this shot, and explain to me why?
I'd like to use brains because this would be one of those situations where you have to calculate a spitting projectile fired out of a non-rifled barrel into an area where physics is pretty much doesn't really apply or applies intensely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Plus, they've also got to recall everything Red Iron said in case something's been missed.
All right. Amos is using
what have I
his-
gotten myself into?
his brain powers here. Amos, go ahead and give us a brains roll. Now, Clarion, your little drone can assist in some way. If
Yes.
You can think of a way to do that.
I think Sheldon would focus his light and use it as a targeting laser.
All right, so you're going to give Amos a better ability to kind of track this. So Sheldon lands on the cannon basically and acts like a laser pointer. That will give you a +2 to this roll, Amos. And there's another +1 from Doyle. They want to see you succeed. Now, this is a difficult shot. You will need an 18 or higher to avoid any damage to Carrot. Anything less than that, anything less than a 14 will miss entirely. But in between there, Carrot's going to get hurt. So go ahead and give us that brains roll, Amos, and let's see what happens.
Firing!
14. That is going to be a 16 with the assistance of Sheldon. Annika gave you a +1. You do have
Using
a
it.
+1 from Hey Doyle as well. That could put you at 18, just barely enough.
Using that too.
Using all of those things, thank you, audience. This chain just... You see Carrot just go... and get squeezed up inside of it as it spins around them. And just kind of... They drift further out into the void, but they stop at the end of the rope. Plunk.
Amos makes little habit of extenuating themselves inside of certain circumstances. you'd better believe that gunnery is ducking as they are just pulling and pulling and pulling. It's a wonder he doesn't take damage. It's a wonder all three of them don't take damage from the fact that the 8-foot, 300-pound Lesrin has proceeded to yoink cannon shot at a kobold their direction.
All right, give me an agile roll.
I was joking.
Carrot is in the void, and even though you're pulling strong, there's no weight there. So you just need to make sure you're able to pull Carrot in carefully. Let's see how well you do. Agile roll. Boom. Oh, not so great.
Ace.
Here goes an ace. All right. All right, here goes the roll again. It's a 17. Much better that time. You're able to just make it work. You yank in Carrot. Suddenly inside the atmosphere, you hear and you just catch them in your arms.
Amos untangles the cannon shot, hands it to Collins. Gunnery, we're going to be busy for a moment. Amos is going to pick up Carrot in one hand, and walk them down to medical. Just the entire time, the two Lesrins are making eye contact. No one hears what's going on between them.
Just staring. And you see Carrot roll the head, eyes roll back in Carrot's head, and passes out just a little bit after you. That little exchange between the two of them. We move over to Red Iron. Red Iron, if you will, please provide me with a brains roll as you attempt to hook up Sylvia to your own.
May I use Amos's bonus?
Yes, you can use the +1 there.
All right, here we go.
The higher you are, the more successful you are at the connection. A failed connection could be problematic. That is a 17. That is a good connection. I wouldn't call it
18 with Amos's.
Yes, 18 with Amos's roll. So again, good connection. I wouldn't call it perfect under the amount of speed you had to do this. But Sylvia connects in.
Now connected.
And
What? All right. Now what?
Give me a moment to get myself acquainted.
Archimedes, Sylvia, Archimedes.
Nice to meet you, Archimedes. Archimedes did not respond.
Archimedes is having a very bad day.
Archimedes has received a great deal of damage. Your systems here are rudimentary. I only seem to have connection to an atmosphere generator, gravity well, shielding, and propulsion.
Repulsion.
You wish me to enhance propulsion?
Red reaches out up to Beatrix.
Are we ready to escape or are we fighting?
I am definitely ready to escape. Let's run.
Repulsion, please.
now, and my voice suddenly disappeared.
Now engaging propulsion.
And you see Sylvia on the front begins glowing a bright myriad of colors. Your engine begins getting red hot around the edges, and the wall begins charring. I'm gonna see how successful Sylvia is at enhancing your traveling capabilities. Okay, you will see what happens when this finishes charging at the bottom of the next round. So, off in the void, noble ship goes, noticing a strange glow beginning to appear around your ship. Oh, we also had to move it. Leifei has continued trying to run. They're attempting to chase. The noble ship fires a small cannonade at you from the front deck, but because of the assistance that B provided Leifei, we're gonna see how he does on driving. Come here, Leifei. Here we are. Leifei immediately dodges the first cannonade. Like lemonade, only with bullets. And the second one comes in. And yet again, spinning the wheel once more avoids the damage of a second shot. Spinning and twisting the ship. You see the whole thing like twist upside down. You see these just zip by of cannonballs that could have caused some serious problems. As they move through your atmosphere, there's a crack noise as they just zip past, since you can't hear them until they actually enter your atmosphere. And we now find ourselves in Archimedes land once more. Leifei's going to attempt trying to get away still and staying defensive. Scarborough reloads and fires once more. Cullen's off to the side, looks over at Sheldon. I guess I'm gonna have to take over this cannon. Sheldon, little buddy, can you help me do that whole lasery thing again? Because that seemed to work really well with Amos. Sheldon.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you're gonna have Sheldon assist as Cullen's fires. He's gonna attempt to reload as quickly as he can. Scarborough reloads as quickly as he can as well. We'll see if either one of them are ready to fire again this round. Unfortunately, Cullen's is not. I got a spinning die once more, which is always fun. Hey, audience, how are you out there? While we wait for this die to finally fit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it looks like they're both going to spend the round reloading. Unless someone else helps them in another way. Clarion, I forgot your roll. I'm so sorry. There's so many things going on all at once. You still need to roll your medical roll. So give me, let's see, what medical kit are you using for the ship at the moment for Vicky?
Just a basic one is all I have.
Basic. Okay, so you are just straight roll, brains roll, and let's see how successful you are at repairing Vicky in this moment. That is a 14. That is enough to patch the wound, keep it from bleeding. It'll heal better, but there's no additional health provided with that roll.
All right, and with that, I'll let her go.
Okay, so Vicky's like, all right, thank you. I gotta go. I gotta get downstairs. You see her just like rush down the staircase, and
a full few seconds after she leaves, Clarion just kind of blinks and says, "You're welcome."
Give me a high or low, Clarion, as we attempt to see if Vicky gets there in time. Okay. As Vicky goes running down the stairs and heading towards the kitchen, you begin to smell smoke. And you do tell that there is a pretty serious amount of carbon in the air coming up the staircase. Vicky rushes into the kitchen and starts screaming, "No, my food!" And I need to roll a Goblin emotional outburst. Let's see what happens.
Uh-oh.
Goblin Impulse, everybody, here we go. And Vicky goes and turns red and must consume the nearest edible object, including living creatures. Good thing she's in the kitchen. Suddenly, Vicky's just... You see her shove all of this molten hot food that's in front of her that's ash straight into her own face. Now I need to roll tough. Vicky swallows it and begins screaming, "Ah!" from downstairs. You hear an intense amount of trauma and pain coming from down below, as I now need to see what type of damage she's done to herself. 6 max damage! Vicky hits the floor, her face scalded. As Clarion, you can tell she's in a lot of pain down below. Ah, shit.
I appear to have made an error in judgment.
Absolutely did. Alright, it is your turn, Clarion. What are you gonna do during this ship round?
Grab a fire extinguisher and go put out the fire in the kitchen.
Okay. You just clink, grab one off the wall and rush downstairs. As you make it into the kitchen area, you can see Vicky laying on the floor, her lips blistered and kind of laying there. You can see smoke everywhere, and there's like a flame starting against the back wall of the kitchen. Give me, well, we'll have you roll on the ship turn to put that out.
Okay.
Leifei. Oh, the other thing I forgot. Of course, since it's not even a player. Red Iron. We need to roll for Graspy to see what type of repairs it was able to do during this round. So use an other roll at a +2 because of the captain's benefit. Told you I'm tired today. I do apologize if I miss anything. Please slap me upside the head and tell me
I forgive you, Captain.
Third arm rolls a 9, 10, 11. Within 11, you can roll a d6 to repair that amount, unless you want to use an ace and try for higher.
Nah, I feel like I'm gonna need that ace for this whole Sylvia business.
Okay. You are 4 points of damage back. You're now down to negative 18 in that area instead of negative 22. And you now need to remove 4 scrap from the ship inventory or from your own. Did I give you what the ship was carrying for scrap yet, Red Iron?
No.
If you want to put it on your sheet just so you know where it's at, you have 100
Okay.
scrap, 100 low-grade scrap on board the ship.
Now 96.
Now 96. Every single point of ship repair done takes 1 point of scrap.
Oh
Takes
my.
1 scrap use. All right, so that was that turn. So back up to the top, Leifei again is going to try to avoid things and drive away. Amos, on your turn, you're carrying Carrot now. What do you do with Carrot? You're running into medical?
They never break contact with Carrot the entire time. You get hints there's a conversation going on between the two of them as they go outside the door to Clarion's room, completely forgetting the fact that there's a fire raging outside, there's a goblin screaming, and probably someone stubbed their toe in the process. I'm joking about that part, I hope you know. Amos is going to calmly open the door. We got another one.
You open the door calmly, holding on to Carrot, and Clarion is nowhere to be found. Amos, roll aware. "17. As you come into the room, you're carrying Carrot there. You've unentangled them from the chain shot and everything that you could, but Carrot had passed out after you had a conversation mentally, and Carrot is no longer breathing. What do you do?
I want to argue Amos knows a thing or two about battlefield medicine. Can I roll to see to what extent?
Roll brains for me. That is a critical failure, my friend.
They're probably just sleeping.
You're gonna take a crit failure? Are you gonna have something that is negatively impactful for you, or potentially impactful for everyone around you? There's a reroll from Doyle for Amos for that brains roll, and another one from Annika. You got another ace. That is a 15 this time. So you do have a small amount of medical knowledge. You definitely have some field medical and wound dressing and things like that. Probably no CPR.
Amos is just gonna Amos is gonna carefully open Carrot's mouth, check to see if there's anything just stuck in his throat, just anything visible.
Okay, you look inside to see if there's something that's blocking the airway. Carrot's mouth is full of polished ball bearings.
The Lesrid is going to take the kobold, turn them upside down over a basin, and shake them. Mildly.
Okay. Give me a strong roll as you attempt to dump Carrot's ball bearings out. There you go.
Oh my god.
You shake the Carrot for a while upside down. You see this falling into this bucket, these perfectly chromed, shiny ball bearings, and then Carrot starts coughing in front of you. Why am I upside down?
You stop breathing.
Oh, that's not good, I've heard.
No, it's not. Are you okay?
I don't know, let me check. No, my feet are where my head are supposed to be.
That would be one thing. They flip them over, set them down.
There we go. That's the right way. Ah, my chest hurts. I'm going to be bruised, apparently. Oh, by the way, thank you for shooting me.
Look, I'd rather live with guilt than live with bodies. And quite frankly, I think you would smell as a dead body, so.
Most dead bodies do smell. You got me there.
Most dead bodies do smell. Do you want to find the medic?
Yes! Yes, I could find the medic. Do you think they're on the deck?
Probably.
I'll go to the deck then. Carrot just like rushes out the door.
Let's not. Oh, and they're gone.
And you see Carrot like stumble out for a second and then like stand upright. Continue walking.
Amos is gonna quickly look outside. Make sure that the medic is around.
You don't see Clarion on the deck outside. You assume Clarion's got to be down below.
How in the void do we lose a medic on a ship this small?
You now smell smoke and probably fire. There's a bunch of heat coming up out of the stairwell that leads down below, and you hear a high-pitched whining noise, and you can see some of the electrical components in the room, the lights and things like that, begin sparking, and one of the light bulbs near you just zzz, and breaks.
Not even gonna live to get my paycheck at this rate. Okay, let's go see what fresh Voidian monstrosity is lying down there. Probably an eternal.
Amos heads downstairs. Beatrix, we're over to you now. You can see Cullens and Sheldon struggling to get this cannon loaded off to the side. Lefe is expertly navigating based on what information you provided them. Scarborough is just yelling at Cullens over and over again. Not that way! No, you gotta flip that around the other side. You gotta aim out straight. That's not enough powder. That's not enough. I can't do it. I've got my own things to do.
Can
Having
I...
a total frenemy relationship with Cullens, I think B is going to go over and help.
B walks over to help Cullens in what way?
She'll actually tell him how to do it correctly. And probably help him to show him, because she just wants him to know she knows.
Let's see how successful you are at telling Cullens what he needs to do the right way. Give me a brains roll and good or bad advice. Let's see what happens. Mediocre. So with that roll, you basically don't cause any problems, but you also don't give any benefits other than just being kind of irritating to Cullens. If you're willing to accept that, then that's what happens.
I mean, it seems on brand for B.
So B is like...
you need to empty it out first before you put the new powder in, because otherwise it's just going to be a pain.
I realize I've got to empty it out first.
And then put the powder, and then the wadding.
The wadding, of course, that was on the manual. I know what that...
Well, then do it. Come on.
B, I'm trying. What are you... Why? You're not going to be helpful. Why are you over here?
I've already been helpful.
That's debatable. So that's what happens there with B and Cullens. Red Iron, we move down to you. Before this round resolves, what are you attempting to do, and what is Graspy doing?
Graspy is going to keep on fixing.
All right, I'll let you actually roll for Graspy now to see what type of repairs are done as well. Give you another other roll. The captain is still kind of shouting out orders to people, so you can still get that bonus for Graspy. That is way worse. Give me one. Go ahead.
Wait, I don't think I have an ace.
You should have one for the episode. I don't know if I gave everybody.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Didn't know how they were carrying over. All right, then I'm gonna ace that one. I don't need to accidentally damage the ship or anything.
If you get to 3 aces, you do no longer get aces for the episode, but I do allow the audience to grant you more than that.
Okay.
All right, so that is a 13 this time. That is still roughly the same. You get another D6 repair roll. That is a 6. Nice. This time, the Graspy just kind of moves over, attaches itself to the wall, and just starts putting together More and more pieces there. Another 6 scrap is burned away. And Red Iron, what are you attempting to do over there with Sylvia? You can tell that the engine might become damaged by this.
Let's see here. Red is going to attempt to stabilize the engine due to like overheating, due to like a lot of like really heavy heat by let's see here.
I mean, you have a saltwater bath nearby.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, all right, how can I use the saltwater bath in like a really funny way, without like throwing it on there?
I suggest something to the tune of, how you say, like a chemical sprayer sort of thing.
Could do a chemical sprayer, yeah.
Like a fire extinguisher, like a fire extinguisher. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking. So Red is going to attempt to, using some of the scrap that's in the thing, quickly assemble some kind of a pressure washer from their automaton arm, so that they can spray the salt water on the engine.
So you're attempting a very quick modification to take and pump the water as a sprayer.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a range roll. The more successful you are, the more effective this device will be before you use it on the ship.
Okay. Here we go.
Nice, 22. Red Iron very quickly grabs a hold of a couple of bits of piping and tubing, puts them on the arm, adds a little bit of a pressurized cartridge that's nearby, some piece of safe tech. You just repurpose that real quick. You attach the water into it, and then just, and then you hear it going and pumping up for pressure. And then you'll be using that on the ship here in a moment when we make your roll.
Meanwhile, Red's like,
Sylvia, are all the fireworks necessary?
Unfortunately, your technology is far inferior to ours. It is becoming, let's say, unstable.
I can handle it for now, but how can I help otherwise?
Would you happen to have any?
She says some sort of weird mechanical word in a different language that has to, you assume, deal with an alloy that you've never heard of.
No, I definitely don't have that.
We will have to find out a way to remedy that in the future.
There's not going to be a future if you blow up Grandfather.
I will retain the integrity of your vessel as best I can.
I appreciate your courtesy, Sylvia. Archimedes will thank you after.
Of course, I can't wait to speak with Archimedes.
You can't hear him.
I cannot.
I will teach you. It is okay.
Excellent. Now, if you'll give me a moment of time, I need to concentrate.
All right, that is now the turn for the ship to resolve. We didn't have any gunfire happen this time. We do have someone still attempting to protect the ship. The miner has stepped down below, by the way. I am going to say that seeing you in trouble, seeing Vicky laying on the floor, they do call out to you before the resolution happens. Clarion, can I help you in some way?
Yes, I would like you to retrieve burn cream from the second drawer in my medical supplies in the medical bay.
Burn cream. Got it. That's just up this ladder here, right?
Yes.
All right. He rushes upstairs, sees Amos standing in that room. Hello, lizard, and starts rifling through the drawers. We'll see if he's successful at finding burn cream. Clarion, would you rather have...
He finds hemorrhoid cream.
Would you rather have him find something that's absolutely the wrong thing, or accidentally damage some of the ship's supplies?
I want him to find the wrong thing, and I want it to be hemorrhoid cream, please.
He finds hemorrhoid cream. Oh, this looks about right. And then he turns and starts coming down below. All right. So let's see. How are we going to resolve first? We'll resolve in order. So the first one to go is going to be Clarion. You attempt to put the fire out on the back wall. Give me an agile roll as you go to do that. The target to put this out is a 12. You got a 6.
Oops.
With the fire extinguisher, it's actually +4, so you'd have a 10. But you are too shy. You will not be able to put it out this round with that, but you will reduce the fire if you don't have any other options.
I mean, I don't really have. I don't think I have any abilities that would. Well, no, I could activate my PDO and fire elemental cold.
You could.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
All right, so use an overload and describe what it looks like as you fire this coldness all over the wall.
Clarion adjusts the PDO that comes out of her holster on her hip. She's got her PDO on one side with like a wrench and then the med kit on the other side. And she pulls a lever to adjust the opening and like messes with the aperture. And what comes out is a fine elementally cold mist.
There you go. Annika did provide you 2 +1s, by the way. Go ahead and give me a damage roll, and we'll see if it's enough to overcome the fire. So your elemental. That is 9 points, yes. So with the spray you started, you see some of it going out, but not it being as effective as it should be. You grab a hold of your PDO and just suddenly the wall just like freezes on the other side and the fire is put out.
We will need to address the integrity of this wall later. And she turns to Bicky and attempts to render aid.
All right, you turn to Bicky, and the miner runs down. Here you go. I found the burn cream.
She checks the label and says, "This is not burn cream.
Preparation.
This is hemorrhoid cream."
HYZ. What? I mean, will it help?
No, but I appreciate the effort. And she just tries to use what she has in her med kit.
All right, give me a brains roll as you attempt to medically assist Bicky on the floor. Nice, 23. With that roll, give me a d6 roll. You can also use to heal her with. This is the only healing you can get from this medical effect at the moment. That's 5 points. So you're able to reduce some of the blisters, some of the burns. You provide a salve down her throat that stops the swelling. You actually give her a couple of micro shots that'll reduce some of the problems, inflammation, that kind of thing. And Bicky begins breathing gently again, but she's going to be out for a while. It's going to take a bit to heal from that.
Sir, Miner, help me carry this poor goblin up to the medical bay, please.
Yeah. He grabs a hold of her and just lifts her up, moves over to the stairwell and carries her in.
What is your name, by the way?
My name's Greg.
Hello, Greg. I am Clarion Bell.
Hello, Clarion Bell. Do you say it that way every time, the whole way?
You can call me Claire, Clary, Rion, On, Bell, or any variation as long as I know that you are referring to me.
Excellent. I like Claire. That's a good name.
Very well.
You know,
This
I have
way,
people
please.
call me Ed as he's like carrying Bicky up the stairs, but my real name's Neddard.
I thought you said your name was Greg just now.
Oh, yeah, Greg.
Greg Ned Eddard. Very well.
All right, Greg Neddard. So you and Greg Neddard bring Bicky up into the bed, and that is your action for resolution. Leife continues preparing to defend the ship against incoming attacks, but turns to move away. Suddenly, we see a large, pulsing ball of energy appearing off the backside of the ship, and that will resolve at the end of this turn. Leife starts going, ooh, what is that? And, let's see, Amos, what were you doing after Carrot had left?
So Carrot leaves to go above deck. Amos leaves to go below deck. Greg, Ed, Neddard crosses paths with Amos. Amos watches as Greg passes with just like this Tyrannosaurus glare. Doesn't face Greg once. Just that amber eye following him as he goes. And then as he goes back, probably explains the hemorrhoid cream. Probably bumps into Clarion. And
Amos.
Medic Bell, what's her status?
Vicky has been injured by consuming some burnt food. I made an error in treating her. I will remedy this. She needs rest. Do you require medical assistance?
No, found Carrot into that thing where you shove a tube down someone's throat. Airway good. Carrot is in the wild. Do you want him back?
It would be advisable to check on him, yes.
I'd appreciate it if they didn't die. I need to have a talk with them further.
Me as well. I enjoy Carrot's antics.
So say we all, and they go back up above deck.
All right. So Amos heads back out. Let's keep an eye on what's going on. You see Cullid's being badgered by a bee while trying to work on the cannon. Scarborough is really just shaking his head over and over again and turning as red as you can imagine a Skixon getting. And at this point, it is now time for the ships in the distance. The Noble ship moves forward, trying to keep pace. It's not quite as fast as your ship, but does fire out a large ballista bolt with a chain at the end of it, trying to attach it to your ship to grab a hold of you. So, here goes that attack. Leifei, we got you rolling to try to keep everybody safe. Leifei's got a +3 to this roll because of B. Nice. He gets a 19, 20, 21, 22 versus the opponent's attack. Leifei just looks back. Coming in. 3, okay, twist. He just twists the wheel. Suddenly the whole ship just kind of floats to the side and you just see this big ballista chain stops at the end, kink, and starts being dragged back in towards the noble ship. The security ship in the distance spins in an opposite direction. So it was firing from its left side. It twists and comes in for a right broadside shot using all of its cannons since the other one side was damaged. Here comes the security ship attack. It gets a 8 to hit. And Leifei, again dodging once more. Oof! This time 5, 6, 7, 8. With an 8, narrowly avoids this, following those little eddies in the aether that B had provided him. You see the ship just kind of move. These cannonballs all come rushing towards it at the last moment. The ship kind of dips and twists to the side, and the balls go flying by. They go so close that you actually have them zip across the deck in between everybody, right on the front. Amos, from where you're at, a cannonball just right past your face.
Well, it's Tuesday.
And this is the bottom of the round. The ship begins vibrating very heavily. And suddenly, everything goes black for everybody. Give me a tough roll, all of you. Critical failure for Clarion. Oh boy. Red Iron 18, Amos 21, B 18.
I like that flex.
Clarion, do you want to keep that critical failure?
No, I'm gonna ace it.
All right, here goes an ace. Go ahead and give us another roll. Nice. You got an 11 that time. Not amazing, but works. Clarion got an ace from Annika.
Thank you, Annika.
All right. So, this is what happens. All of you suddenly have your vision go black. You don't know what that means in specific, but you get a very strange sensation like all of your organs just went through your spine and before resettling and coming back. You have the most horrible pit dropping sensation ever. And everything kind of starts coming back into focus but is blurry and wobbling around you. Red Iron, with your efforts before, I need you to make that last roll that I forgot, because again, I'm forgetting things at this night. Give me a brains roll to apply the chemical compound that you are creating, or that you're placing onto this ship to keep it cool.
Oh, I'm using my virtue. I'm gonna use my
Saltwater
virtue.
bath, you don't want to do a 10? Okay. What's your virtue? And explain why.
My virtue is compassion, and Red Iron wants this to be successful for the sake of the crew, but also does have a fondness for their dear friend Archimedes.
I would accept that argument, and if you'd like, you can use your virtue instead of the ace that you were given by Adramek. You can save the ace for later.
Let's hold that ace.
All right.
Let's use the virtue. This works.
All right, give us another
Here
roll.
we go. Here we go. Brains time. Let's go. That's
20.
the stuff.
Nice. All right, so you
Big
very
brain moment.
carefully, you keep blasting this thing. Steam is burning off of it. You're trying to keep it cool wherever you can while also making sure to not damage the equipment. Some salt buildup is starting to crust upon the outside of the ship. You know you'll have to scale that later and possibly remove rust and things like that. But you keep doing this until suddenly everything goes black. I need you to give me an agile roll, as your location in time and space seems a little uncertain, and you don't necessarily want to end up on a super hot engine. Four -2.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that.
Okay, you take that.
Mm-hmm.
As your vision begins to clear, Red Iron, the first sensation you get is intense heat. You find that you have literally ended up like face planting and almost hugging the engine as it burns at nearly 600 degrees Celsius right now. Give me a tough roll to resist some of this damage. You can resist up to 50% of it. If you get higher than 18, you do. You're going to take half damage. But this is what is called enveloping damage. You'll decide where the injuries go on your body, and if you happen to want to, you can give yourself a wound for 5 of this damage for each one of those wounds you take.
And what is a... Sorry, help me out. What is a wound?
A wound is when your limb has gone to 0 and gives you distractions. As long as you have it, it cuts down your healing capabilities. You can no longer regen until you've had medical assistance, that kind of thing. If
Okay,
you get
thanks.
6 wounds, you die. You take 16 points of damage. Please distribute that. You only have 8 total CHP, so unless you're going to start wounding your body parts, you are going to end up in a really bad position. You can still take off the armor, of course, as part of the damage you're taking.
Yeah, I'm doing a little... Yeah, I think... so Red is going to lose basically all their armor, so that's going to take 7 away, so now we're down to 9. And then Red is going to... Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Now your limb doesn't take damage off your CHP for your right arm.
Yeah, the robotic arm. I was considering that one, but I feel like I kind of need it, and I also want just a little bit of pain. No, it works. It works for me. It's good for me. I'm gonna take 5 to the head and 4 to the right leg.
If you take 5 to the head, that leaves you with 3 CHP. So you take 4 to the leg, that will put you at 0.
Oh. I am not understanding something.
Every point of damage you take from a body part that is not robotic also comes out of your CHP at the same time.
Got it.
CHP
Okay.
is like your overall health. Once you reach 0 there, that's when you start heading towards death.
Or I can take a wound to a limb.
Yes. Wound to a
Sorry
limb.
for misunderstanding this.
That's okay. It's still, new system enough.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
You are a Lesrin. You can just as easily regenerate body parts.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to die here. Pretty sure I can. Well, then what I would like to do rather is we'll burn off all the armor for 7, and then rather than take that damage to the head, I'll take 4 to the right leg and a wound, and that should do it.
Okay, so 4 to the leg and wound. So down at the bottom, there's the little skull. There's the little hearts that are near it. That's where you track your wounds. You just click on one of those
Okay.
hearts, and that'll show you have 1 wound. That gives you 1 distraction. That is a -1 to all rolls, but it's automatically calculated into the rolls on this part of the sheet. So if you
Aha.
make them, they'll come off automatically.
What's my quirk?
Your regen is technically 0 until that wound is gone, so you can't gain back health, you can't get rid of overload, that kind of thing.
Right.
So there we are. You are quite seriously hurt for now. So your left leg and your right leg, correct?
I think just the. I thought it was just the. Yeah, I guess. I thought it was 1 and then that's a wound, or no?
It's 1 and a wound, yeah. So you were
One and
able
a
to do
wound.
just the 1, and your armor was gone.
Yeah, and the armor's gone. Boom, 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 boom. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so the right leg. So you wake up in searing agony. Your leg is almost welded with the machine in front of you. You can see the bone kind of sticking through and the smell of burnt flesh. Your body is semi-numb, but you've got that like sinking pit of your stomach, horrible I'm very injured feeling, and your ears are ringing. For a split second, you can see through the edges of the ship, and then it solidifies. Give me a brains roll. In this pain, obviously, it might be harder to determine what just happened, but yeah, you're not going to be able to tell right now.
All Red can think about is the incident.
The incident, indeed. It's similar. You did, however, save Archimedes' engine from burning up, and as it is stopped, you can see that Sylvia is currently dim, almost like it's turned off temporarily, and the Archimedes engine is humming like normal.
As Red like peels themselves off the engine.
Like stinging as you're like pushing your hands off. You take a step or two away from there. Go ahead and roll tough to see if you can stay upright. Your eyes go dark for a second. You kind of have to snap your head and hold out your hand to touch something. You can't use your right leg at all.
Clarion. And then Red just sits.
You sit down and calling for Clarion. So we move along to the rest of the crew. We'll actually start back with Clarion. Clarion, the world around you disappears. Your optical sensors tell you something is wrong. Your ears, your auditory sensors, your tactile sensors, none of them seem to be working for a split second, which means you have ceased to exist, but you still have a mind. So that is strange. And then as it fades back in, you can see all your systems like rebooting. Your eyes kind of flicker in. You see that like dot matrix style. Suddenly you see your vision and then it pops back into place. As it's popping back into place, it almost feels like someone is drawing the walls back in really, really fast in front of you. And then it's solid. Vicky lays there on the floor nearby. Still injured, but you were just working with her. And you can hear the miner nearby as well just go, what was that?
I do not know.
And then you hear Red Iron's voice kind of weakly in your mind call for you.
Our engineer needs assistance. Please make sure Vicky stays in bed, Greg.
I'll make sure she stays right there.
And then I go attend to Red Iron.
All right, you head down to attend to Red Iron. B, where you were out upon the deck, you were arguing with Cullens, looking out into the void, and then suddenly the void, poof, disappeared. And next to you, Zep just kind of went, "This isn't right. This isn't right. This is... Where are you? Where are you?" And then you feel like Zep's winds kind of swirl around you, protecting you for a moment. When you come to, you like are gliding back down onto the deck of the ship. And you see through it for a second, then you look around. Give me an aware roll. Nice, 17. B, with your intimate knowledge of positions, of the stars, of your equipment at the front, you can tell you are no longer anywhere near where you were before.
Where did we go? Seth, what happened? And she'll run over to the navigation computer and try and figure out where they are now.
Zep, standing beside you, kind of looks to you and goes, "Some massive expulsion of space aether. You've been transported a grand distance."
That's never happened before. I know our engine can't do that. What did it, Zep?
I felt something come from that technological presence you brought with you. The thing everyone seems to refer to as Sylvia.
Red Iron and Sylvia must have done something. It got us out of there, but at what cost?
I do not know. I would recommend being careful.
Agreed.
Amos, we move over to you. You rushed back up onto the deck. You stared out into the void, and then everything went dark. Something must have hit you on the back of the head. You swear, so whatever opponent is out there that has done this to you will rue the day they ever got their hands upon Amos Nascendi. And then your vision comes back in as you're like screaming into the void. The captain nearby goes, "Oh, my head. Are you okay, Amos? What the hell happened?" Leifei goes, "Cool."
Sound of confused Tyrannosaurus.
And as we see everybody trying to get their bearings here.
May I ask, can I, Amos being Amos, and you know what Amos has done, and Amos is Amos, and hoops, can I roll?
You can roll a tough to keep control of yourself for the moment here, Amos. Barely.
There's just this brief moment where Amos just stands there. They're holding on to the railing, just looking out into the void. Tilt their head back. They let out a void-ringing roar.
We just lost you.
They straighten themselves up, and they just go back to their business.
Amos very nearly succumbs to his fear as a battle scarred in that moment, but is able to hold himself together. And as we see the rage fill his eyes and the fear and the confusion that he just swallows down, the scene goes black as we head to our break for tonight. Thank you everybody for watching Sparrows. I'm glad to say we have escaped unscathed, and are now going to be seeing what happens next. We will be returning in about 10 minutes for everybody, so hey, get yourself a drink, hang out, relax, be ready for the events as they come when we return. Thank you again for watching, everybody.